Hello, this is Jason
And Matt.
from J&M Simulations, and we're here with the Seneca Piper from Senesta. No, just enough. Piper, and this is from Carenado. Excuse me. And this plane, man, I have to tell you, it's beautiful. What we're doing right now, we're coming from Princess Juliana, which many of you know as a very busy, actually, surprisingly very busy and very dangerous approach and departure, I might add, airport, and we're going to be doing that. Fortunately, we're in a small prop plane, and we're going to be going to St. Bart's, even the more dangerous, if you can believe, airport to even land at. You cannot pay me enough money to actually land that, even in the most skilled pilot. I would not feel comfortable with that, but it's okay because I feel comfortable with Matt. So that's the only person I would fly with, and actually you're flying with him right now. So buckle up and prepare. We're taxiing right now, and for your entertainment, we are going to talk about a little bit of topics that is very controversial in the community, actually, and a little things we've experienced while coming where we have come from and doing what we have done. So right now actually is, as you may see, is turning with only one engine going off at a higher RPM than the other one, which is pulling one but not pulling the other, making it turn, which is really nice. Actually, you don't see that in the sim world, but we're doing it here. We do that. There is actually a real procedure in real life, even in big jets. They actually do that, but we're doing it right now just to turn a little bit quicker. So right now, without further ado, we're going to go into our first topic, that's our favorite plane. So right now, I think I'm going to start this one off. We're talking about the 767 and the 757. Those are my favorite planes, and that is because of the universal cockpit given into each one of them, the fuselages of each plane, the flight dynamics and characteristics of each plane within the simulator and real life alike are just fascinating towards me, and I think it's like no other plane I've ever flown on or seen. I think it looks beautiful, and the integration of the cockpits was actually a very, very smart move on Boeing's part, and I think they've actually learned a lesson from Airbus when they actually did this, because Airbus's cockpits practically all are integrated, all are the same, and that allows for easy transmission and prep and progress from one another. So if you're an Airbus pilot, you may progress to, say, a jumbo jet or a heavy jet faster than you would if you were a Boeing, because you would have to take extra classes and like expend your bosses or like your liveries masters like money even faster than you would with an Airbus. So I think that's really quintessential, and you have to put in a lot of thought to that, especially if you own a livery, which I'm pretty sure people don't, but it's okay. That's the reason why I like it. Let's hear a few words from Matt about his favorite airplane.
So my favorite airplane, basically my top aircraft are they're all Airbuses. For some reason I find the Airbus aircraft quite a bit more attractive. I think they're more attractive, and I think they're quite a fantastic aircraft. And I think that they've just brought they're just like much more technologically advanced. And to me, it's my preference. Right? Everybody has their preference, and they can do that. But the A350, the A380, and then also I really like the 777X that's coming out. I think they're all like really amazing, and they're really adding a lot to the aviation industry as a whole.
Yes, it's very innovative, actually, the new planes that are coming out. I suggest you check them out, not necessarily flying them, but just look them up on the internet, actually. And when they do come out, I know Quality Wings actually is dropping their 787 quite soon. I'm pretty sure earlier next year, I hope so. So we'll get to see that. We will be the ones reviewing that, so stick around for that. But they are very actually innovative compared to what has happened before. Let's talk about the 747-8 and what happened between those, and how that wasn't very innovative at all.
Well, the thing that we really think about the 747-8 is that Boeing really, didn't really try and create anything individual with that aircraft. They just try to piggyback off of what they've already had and just create a much more fuel-efficient aircraft, which is fine. But it really shows that they didn't really have much of a commitment for the aircraft and what the airlines really wanted at that time period. They didn't, they really didn't go too much into what the airlines wanted, which really heavily impacted the sales of the aircraft. It really didn't sell that well with airlines or with cargo carriers. Much better with cargo carriers and airlines, but yeah, it really didn't do that well.
Yes, I agree tremendously and 100%. I think that even with the reputation that Boeing has, I think it really let down people who were expecting more, and actually disappointment occurred in the community about what happened, what they were doing with their money that they invested in. I think that, as well as many others, think that it could have been better, and they have the creativity to do something better. But yet again, they're riding on the previous success of the Queen of the Skies to carry them into another 40 years of success, which is not the best move, especially when Airbus is dropping something out completely new, completely innovative, and you're gonna drop out a approved copy of what you've done. I don't think that was the smartest move, but that's just coming from us. I think that if they were to make a completely different design, capture the airliner's attentions, and sell them on convincing points, I think that it would have sold way better. I'm not going to compare it to the sales of the A380 because I theoretically cannot see into different dimensions. But if something did happen like that, I think they would have a better success than actually just following the Queen of the Skies. I think it's time for the King of the Skies rather than the Queen. So that brings us to our next topic. Speaking of planes and our favorite planes, what was your first flight experience like, Matt?
Well, first flight I ever had was, down to the Bahamas back when I was a kid. And, really that was what really triggered the desire for me to begin, my aviation love and career. And, after doing that, after getting the first flights and such, I would, go and, talk to my parents. Hey, Mom, please, can we take me down to the airport, watch planes, and, do all those things. And after a while, it really just turned into, becoming, all my life. Really, that just turned into, that was really my life, and that's all I did. And for some reason, it just caught our eyes, and after having those first flights, it really, to me, it was like the coolest thing I'd ever done in my life.
I have to agree with him as well. My first flight, the memorizing moment was me being terrified on takeoff. Actually, the G-forces exerted on my body, along with me seeing something a couple of tons just rise from the air, amazed me to no end, and it intrigued me actually. And I wanted to know what made something like this fly. Why does this get off the ground with such haste? What are in those engines? And ever since I've done research, I'm a very inquisitive person, and ever since I did that research, I thought that it was just so fascinating, it was so cool, and I dedicated actually my 15-year-old life to actually pursue that goal and career. So doing that and doing so, I decided to dedicate my life to flying, and what better way than to get a computer and to play flight simulator. I thought that was the best way I can do it right now. I'm going to start my lessons quite soon, but my friend Matt has already. So tell us what that's like.
I have to say, it's pretty amazing, Jason. And sorry, we're just having some problems here, but we fixed it there. Some dumb problem. Flying is, I have to say, there's some overrated. I know there's people that we know that fly, flying is like, but it might sound rather a cliche, but really it is. Nothing is more fun to me than getting in my 172 and going out for a little bit of a flight over to some regional airports around mine. And the thing is that the experience of flying, it's just unlike anything else. you know, at such a young age, being able to pursue my dream, it means more to me than anything. And I think that if you really have that love, you should save the money and do it, because you know, even if you're scared the first time, you get in that cockpit, and if you know what you're doing, it's the best experience of your life. And I could not be happier than I am right now with how my life is going. You know, it's just such a amazing experience to be able to fly, because that's all I want to do with my life, you know.
Yes. And word to the wise, taking flying this and flying the real life thing, it's different. I wouldn't say completely different, because there were very valuable things that you can learn by just simulating. Don't knock this off if you're very serious about flying. I think that you will learn a lot of procedures and what things are. Rather than going in blind, this is very actually smart.
Before my training, I'd flown about 300 hours sim, and I can say that it really made me a much better pilot before the training, because I really knew a lot. I knew a lot, and I'm not saying that as a cockiness. I'm saying that as how the thing taught me a lot, and I really, you know, I really attribute that to the simulator for teaching me what I know. And you know, it's only because of the simulator that I was able to, you know, coming into all these things. You know, radio comm already knew, you know, stuff like that. You know, because of VATSIM, all these things are realistic, and it really can help you in your real life aviation, you know, experience.
Yeah. So that's something really to take in mind. So as I may have said before, well, smooth touchdown, smooth, yeah, because this is a very short runway. As I might have said before, we are gonna be talking about we're gonna be doing a variation of leveling up, if you will. On this, we're gonna be actually taking a small aircraft at first, and progressing every video to a slightly bigger and larger aircraft where you might need a different piloting license to go through. Now, of course, this is featured in the aircraft, in the mod, which is FSPassengers. If you're bored of the mundane, pointless flying that comes in the stock or default FSX, I do suggest you pick this up. It's not necessary, but it is recommended. Yeah, as you can see in our reviews, we've done reviews with it, but we're going to be progressing from here to, say, a 777 or 747 or jumbo or huge aircraft that you might want to see. So look it up. This is the real life progression of how a real airline pilot might make it through here. Bush, regional, then corporate.
And you know, we're really cutting it down. I want you guys to realize that we're going to be taking, you know, week by week, you know, transitioning through years of flying. And we don't want you to think that it's like some quick thing. But you know, we're not going to be sitting here flying for years to show you guys the real transition. But we'll do one flight with this, show you this, and one flight after. You know, just to really show the things. And also, we right here you'll see the interfaces that we use to get this flight set up, and just so you have those to look at. Sorry, we forgot to tell you about them before, but we wouldn't want to just put them in the video without you guys knowing.
Yes. So right now we're taxiing up there. We're about to drop these passengers off, or you guys off.
And you can also expect to see Jason flying the next one, which we're probably going to record tonight and should be up by, you know, if not tonight, probably tomorrow. And yeah, definitely look out for that one.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to take a little bit of questions right now. First one we have is, what scenery is this?
This scenery is actually Fly Tampa St. Martin scenery. It actually does all of the Netherlands Antilles, which is actually an amazing deal for what they make you pay for it.
Well, I believe. And is this, and what other aircraft or add-ons do you recommend? If I would like this one, what other ones would I like?
Carenado is the best by far for props. So Carenado has a huge amount of aircraft. The best that I've flown being their Cessna 206 and their 208, which we've done a review on, and other aircraft such as their TBM, all these corporate aircraft that are very fun to fly, and you can fly into these airports Small airports, that's what they're made for. These rugged props not only are made for cheaper than jets, but they're also made because their ability to go into short fields and in like small places that you necessarily can't bring a jet into.
Well, that was very informative. Well, this has been the flight. This is Jason from J&M Simulation, and
this is Matt.
And we hope you have a nice day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.